So fine, we have enough people. So first of all, thank you so much, guys, for joining. So we had a productive week for with this. We are in the sixth session we are running. So before going to jumping to the session, before introducing our, so I would like to congratulate yesterday winner. So I'm sharing my screen quickly. So our yesterday winner is Satish Kumar. So many congratulations, Satish Kumar. So I able to see my screen. Yeah, this is the small spot award and the small certification uh, we are giving to you. And I hope you got the email and the coupon from our side. So congratulate Satish. So please continue the same spirit for the next sessions as well. So thanks for that. And so coming to the session. So first of all, I would like to introduce today's speaker. So we have Swati. So she is having around 20 years of experience in the IT industry, and she is the founder and the director of Step Ahead company in Mumbai. So she is running big RPI campaigns, workshops, and all. So I would like to welcome Swati to the RPA BA session, and I would like to thank from my heart me and my team, Sarath Raju and Suman, to have you on this board. So thank you so much for you accepting this session and making this session possible in your busy schedule. So thank you so much, Swati. So we are proud that we have one of the CEO in this session. So we are literally proud. So thank you so much for that. And I would like to in behalf of that, I would like to thank Amit, your who gave me the opportunity to talk with you and who gave me the chance to speak with you. So thank you so much, Amit. So hand overing my mic to Swati. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Nikhilesh, for giving this opportunity. And even if I'm a CEO or I'm a founder member of one step ahead, it is like every time I like to give knowledge to people, I like to share my experiences, and I will like you guys also somehow can form a company after some years, and you will be also a founder, director, and CEO of the company. So that's the reason we are here, and let's start this journey. Let's start some knowledge sharing and experiences sharing so that you will be also gaining the knowledge.
Yeah, thank you so much for your encouragement, Swati. And before jumping to the session, so guys, Swati, if possible to you, if you can quickly on your camera, if possible, only you and Amit, if possible, can you switch on the camera for 10 seconds, and some of the other people also. Then I can take a picture from the purpose of this session, if possible only.
Yeah, definitely I can.
And even Amit and some guys, any of you can on the camera. So I will quickly take a picture with our speaker. So
I'm not sure. Only I can
yeah,
see
hi.
myself. No one on camera.
I
So
think 1 second. Need to accept the- I'm also seeing only myself.
there is some problem, I think.
Change layout.
I can see you, everyone.
I think we
I
need
can
to.
see many members who has joined this video.
Okay, that's great. I think we can go ahead with the layout option is what if you see beside the present there is a change layout. If you see mark it as tiled and all, I think you will get every person. Yes, I am getting right to 15 people in my screen with video.
Yes, yes,
You got it?
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah. I
I'm
can see
really
you.
happy. I'm seeing so many new faces and so many faces today actually. So this was the inspiration. This was the spirit from you guys. So thank you so much. Let me take a picture. So thank you Swati, thank you Debaju, thank you Jarina, Satish, Shiv, Ramakrishna, Indu. So thank you all. Let me I don't want to waste your time. So let me quickly.
Yeah, is it done?
Yes, yes, it's done. It's done, Swati. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Sorry for your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can continue. Thank you.
Yeah, let me share my screen.
Yes. And guys, as you know, please mute yourself. And any question, we'll have the question session at last. Yeah, you can continue, Swati. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let me know you can see my screen.
Not yet. I think it might be.
No, Swati. No, Swati.
Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yes, yes, yes. It is visible now.
Yeah, yes, perfect.
Yeah, so Nikhilesh already explained about me. This is a small introduction while going forward. So I'm having 20 plus years of experience. I worked in many organizations and more than 5 countries. And then like I have handled till now 100 plus projects. And after that, like I have done some certifications related to Agile, ISTQP, Prince 2 project management, then RPA, UiPath, project management, all the certifications I have done. And then now currently I'm a founder and delivery head director of a company called Step One Step Ahead. So this is just an introduction about me. So going ahead with like, I know that you are a few days back. I don't know who's some sound is coming behind. So can you please do mute whoever is there? Great, great. Now it's fine. Yeah. So I'm not sure what is the like journey. I heard from Nikhil that you already attended some sessions related to RPA. You are maybe developers. You are IT professionals. Or you are fresher for RPA, but you wanted to go into RPA, or you are a BA and then you wanted to go into the RPA BA kind of role, or you are already playing a RPA BA kind of role. So today's topic is related to the go live preparation of the RPA as well as the change management, how the change management we are handling in RPA. So before going into that topic, I thought just go through about the RPA journey from where if you are not having any idea about what is happening in RPA journey, then you will get to know. So the first phase of RPA is prepare RPA, then the solution design will be happening. Then we will build the RPA, we will build the actual RPA automation. Then we need to test the RPA. So the actual testing of the RPA bots will happen. And after that, everything is prepared, everything is done. Then the UAT will happen from the customer, and the last, after the UAT, the last one will be the stabilized RPA. In that stabilized format of the RPA, we are preparing for go live. So go live means what exactly? And what is the use of go live? The first thing about the go live is because the customer had given us the project related to RPA and they wanted to start the RPA actual bots on their premises, and that is the preparation of go live comes into picture. When go live is important or go live is happening, the important in that important phase, the BA is the BA business analyst, the RPA business analyst is having the important role related to the go live phase or go live preparation. So this is just like the previous SDLC or the previous related projects go live, but there are some tweaks and some process handled in the RPA go live preparation phase. So this is the journey related to RPA, and we will be seeing the RPA go live phase in the stabilize RPA process. So in this stabilize RPA process, you can see here the first is go live preparation, and the business analyst is the person who is involved mostly in that proper go live preparation plan. In the next slide, we will see what is the actual go live preparation or what is the actual go live plan the business analyst needs to make. Okay, so before go live, as I said earlier, that the robots are ready, the development is done, the testing is done, as well as the UAT is done from the business side. So after UAT is done, we will be going live. We will be going live with the all RPA process or all RPA bots we are having. The first the first checklist item for the preparation of go live will be the check for the UAT sign off. So if the UAT sign off is not there and the customer have not yet given the sign off for UAT, then it is very difficult to go live, because if the customer wants something in that particular bot, customer wants some information or some processes or some. Hello? All can hear me, right?
Yes, Swati. Yes.
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, Swati.
So yeah, some disturbance is coming. No problem. So whenever the customer is giving sign off, that means whatever the customer have given to us and whatever we are providing to customer is in line. So what is the expected and what is the actual, whatever the bot we have set or whatever the checklist we have set inside the bot, whatever the exceptions handling we have set inside the bot, all things are according to the customer need. So here we are seeing what are the functionalities bots needs to be processed, what are the exceptions, and what is the exception handling mechanism we are giving. For example, suppose the email needs to be sent to the customer after the exception is fired, then that is the one point in the checklist of the exception. And while giving the UAT, if that is not done, then the customer will not provide the UAT sign off or the business sign off. So this is very important for the preparation of go live. The UAT sign off needs to be provided by the customer. In UAT sign off, all the checklist will be like whatever functionalities, whatever process related to be processed, which is defined in PDD, process definition document, and the SDD, solution design document. So whatever is there inside that particular documents and that is sign off from the customer will be provided inside the bot. All the exception or the functionalities should be as per the document provided, the PDD and SDD. Then only UAT sign off will be done. In UAT, what are the customers doing? So from process side, the process SMEs, subject matter experts from the customer will be there, and they will be providing the test data or the data, actual data related to all the scenarios, possible scenarios happening in that particular process. So they will be providing the process positive test scenarios or the positive test data as well as the negative test data. So in this case, the checklist is like UAT sign off will be done, or I can say like UAT is done or UAT sign off is done. That means customer agreed on the whatever bot you have provided or whatever RPA implementation is done from the RPA implementation partner is up to the mark, and every scenarios will be provided from that particular implementation partner company. So that is the UAT sign off. Next one is the production machine access for the bot deployment. If we need to deploy a bot on the production, definitely we will be needing a machine. So the environment is very important. The IT support team or the IT team will be involved in this phase. So suppose the bot needed particular email IDs to be set on that bot, that should be done. Then the particular application is accessible on that particular bot or not. For example, if we are doing the SAP implementation and the SAP process in RPA, related to purchase order processing, then that SAP access or the SAP is the software which needs to be done or deploy on that particular bot. It's to be installed on that particular bot. Then only we can say, okay, the production machine is ready. So we need to see what are the things we need on that particular production machine, so that we will be not surprised. Suppose the particular Chrome version is needed, then that version should be there. Particularly, suppose the database is needed, then database should be there. The email IDs and the Outlook setup is needed, so that should be there. So in many situations where we are deploying currently in many countries, and we are getting this problem like production machines access, customers are giving at the last moment, and because of that we will be wasting 1 or 2 days to get it done, the IT from the IT team. So that is very important thing for the preparation of go live. So this is the next point. Then the application production access, as I said earlier, if like you are developing a bot as an RPA developer on UAT environment, then the application production access should be also important. So the credentials, the username and password for that particular application on productions are very important thing, as well as the access for that particular application. For example, the application related development team is there. They need to provide you the access. They need to provide you the credentials for the applications. So this type of application production details will be required. There is supporting application access in the production machine. So supporting application means the Chrome, the browsers, then Outlook, these are the supporting application access. So these are very important while doing the go live. Then the data preparation setup, the sanity testing. So sanity testing, that means in last RPA project, we got one problem related to the application was not behaving same. The production application is not behaving same as the UAT application. So on UAT we have developed the bot, but the objects from the application, UAT application, are different and than this production application. So we were getting many selector issues or the object related issues. So in this case, we are wasting again the time for the development. We are wasting again to set the selectors on the production. So in this case, this is in go live preparation. If we are checking all these things like the application is ready or not, or the selectors which we have used for UAT are properly set, and the selector are dynamic selectors, so that it will be useful and it will be used in the production as well. So this type of settings or this type of or environment checks and the production checks needs to be done while preparing for go live. Here, if we are delayed in this process, then it is definitely the go live will be delayed, and the actual bot deployment or the bot monitoring will be also delayed. So you will be delaying deliverables to the client. So you need to, as a BA, we need to definitely make sure all these checklists should be prepared and all these checklists should be documented somewhere, because many clients are getting like information, okay, this production machine access is done, but if that is not an email or that is not documented, then also we are getting multiple problems faced, and we are getting multiple problems and delayed in the delivery. Again, the client will not accept their point, so it will be again from it will be again the fault of the development team or the team who is doing the implementation. So as a BA, we need to proactive and we need to take care of all these things. The sanity test is like for the application, whatever we are going to be live on the RPA process needs to be properly working on particular production environment where we are going live. In some cases, and why it is necessary, in some cases we are finding the applications are working fine on your laptop, but when it is like when we are going into the actual production machine, it will be lag, or there are some updates happening on that particular machine, and because of that your application is going in the back end and it is not working. So such kind of experiences we got in past, and the sanity testing is very important. Whatever workflow or whatever business process you are automating or going live with, you should go and check as a BA that process is working fine on the production environment manually. You are going to check that particular workflow, the positive and negative workflow, after going into that application and checking the sanity testing of that particular workflow, so that you can go ahead and tell your development team that, okay, sanity test is done, application don't have any problem, I have checked the positive and negative workflows on that particular all the scenarios or on the particular application on production. Because it is machine specific, because there are some softwares or hardware problems related to machines we will be finding, and this is according to the experience we have got till now, and I'm sharing this experience with you. So sanity testing is related to that. Business emails list for the bot notification, I already explained that. Suppose there is one exception fired, or the process is completed and successful, or there are some suppose 100 scenarios for or 100 input data you have provided for the bot, and out of that 20 are failure and 80 are pass. So you need to provide this particular report to the particular stakeholder. So in this case, suppose I'm sending that particular email to business stakeholder, so that stakeholder should get that email from the bot. And for that reason, we need some email IDs which are allocated for the particular bot and particular process. So that email IDs we need to check while we are going live. Then the bot scheduling details. So customer wants bots to be scheduled in the 6 a.m. in the morning, or if it is a US customer or a Italy customer, UK customer, then maybe they will be required that bots should be scheduled according to their time zone. So there is a very much time difference between the different countries' time zone. So we need to ask and we need to be sure that what is the scheduling process bot needs according to the customer need. Here I would like to give you one example. We are handling one project, and that is the Italy based project, and they need like that bot should be scheduled according to Italy time 9 to 6, and after 6 o'clock on that particular application they will be providing some reports to the management. Now for this reason, if I was not known about the bot scheduling, or our BA is not known about the bot scheduling, then we will miss that point, and we can schedule a bot according to our information or our time zone. So that is very important, very important to know about the scheduling of the bot, and this is the very important point, and this should be also documented. Each and every point, whatever I'm saying or whatever I'm telling you on screen, needs to be documented. And the reason behind that documentation is like the documentation is very important because you will not miss the point as a PA, and the customer will be agreed on that point, and customer will not say like they have not told that, or because of any reason customer will not switch with their statement. So this is very important process and these procedures that you need to ask the customer related the bot scheduling details. Then number of bots are very important. So here there are multiple calculations related to bot calculation. So just giving you one example, suppose one application is there. In that application, whatever process you are going live is taking 2 minutes per transaction, then you need to think like in 60 minutes or in 1 hour, there will be 30 transactions taken place. And suppose the customer is having 2000 transaction in a day or 2000 transaction in a month, then you need a calculator, or you need to calculate that point, and you need to tell customer this particular transaction is taking 2 minutes by one bot, and it will be 60 minutes in hour, and in that hour there will be 30 transactions. So you need multiple bots. If you wanted to go with 9 to 6 as a timing, you will be needing these many bots with this many configuration. And if these bots are ready, then only we will go live and we will handle this kind of particular process related that transaction or the volume. So that is very important to do the bot scheduling details and the number of bot calculation, because these two are parallelly integrated. So whenever you need to schedule a bot, if 24/7, then the case will be different. So you can have a less number of bots because it is working 24/7, but you need, or the customer need, not you, the customer need only 9 to 6 or maybe 10 to 7 is a timing, then it is difficult to have a bot which we can run 24/7, and in that case bot numbers or the number of bots will be more than the normal 24/7 bots. So this is the very important point, and BA needs to be take care of it, and you should have ready this checklist while preparing for the go live. Next is the updating and sign off from the PDD SDD with the updated changes. Now, in this case, I would like to give you one example. Suppose you are you have started with the development as a BA, you have created a PDD, you have got the requirement from the client, and after everything is like stabilized, you have created the process design document. After creation of process design document, you will provide that document to the client for the sign off. After signing off from the process design document, this is a version 1. Suppose V0 PDD related to purchase order processing underscore PDD underscore V01. So V01 is the version for that particular PDD. But after some time, or after maybe starting with the implementation and after getting a first partial demo, client has suggested some changes because of some issues in the demo, or client found out, okay, this is not going to work, we need to change the to be process. In this case, the to be process needs to be changed not only at the development side, but in the PDD and SDD as well. So this is the updation of the PDD is required till the go live, because when the go live is there, we cannot say like the version 1 PDD we are going to use for the go live. It is the last version of the PDD, whatever will be the last version after changing everything, after giving demo, after UAT. What is the last version of PDD and the SDD which we are going to use for the go live? So this is very, very, very important, because this is the experience that sometimes we are handling the PDD versions, maybe 5 versions, and BA forgot to take the 5th version, and if the BA is taking in the go live, BA is taking 4th version. Even if the minor changes are there, it is not viable and feasible to get the PDD version, that is the before version than the latest, whatever the PDD or SDD version. So this is very important point. Whenever we are going live or preparing for live, the business analyst needs to be taken care of all this checklist with the PDD and SDD updated version. If it is not updated, BA needs to change it, BA needs to do the updation and then get it done from the, get it signed off from the customer and then use this. And the user manual creation. The user manual or the QRG, quick reference guide, is very, very, very important, because in user manual, you are going to explain, or BA, business analyst, is going to explain what is the process and how the process is going to handle by the bot. Suppose the person is handling the as-is process, whatever we are calling in as per business analyst. As-is process is whatever the customer is using currently. And the to-be process will be whatever after implementation of RPA, robotic process automation, what will be the process and how the process will be behaving, whatever like emails will be getting to the customer, whatever exceptions will be handled by the bot. What are the exception scenarios? What are the positive scenarios? What are the negative scenarios? And what is the action taken by the bot in case of negative scenarios? So all these things will be incorporated and combined together in the user manual. And the user manual will be the handbook kind of thing, which can be used by the business owner while going live with the bot, and after like bot will go live, and after some time, after maybe 1 month, and when the development team will be not there, and in that case some problem happened or some email is not getting shoot, so user manual can be used as a tracker that this should happen, but this is not happening. So there is a problem in a bot, and they can call the support team and tell them like there is a problem. So that's the reason all this documentation are important. And this is not only the book key knowledge, and this is not only the points to tell, but these all points we are implementing in our organization and in our projects, and these are very, very, very important points. So let's go ahead. After going live or after the preparation of live, these are the things which are important, and who are the stakeholders for that go live preparation. So starting from BA, then the customer, then customers SMEs, process SMEs, whoever are known to that particular process, known to that particular operation people. So technical support team, the implementation team, developers, everyone should be involved. So this is just like we are going live, and the top to bottom, whatever the team involved in that particular implementation should be there while going the live or while doing the go live plan. But here, in this case, the BA is very important, and the BA's role will be very important. Who will take the adequate responses from the client, who will take the collaboration with the client and the implementation team, who will be the middleware or the middle person who is connected with the client as well as the implementation team or the process system. So this is the BA's roles and responsibility to get it done, the go live plan, take all stakeholders together and list down all things which are there, list down all checklist items which we have seen just now, and prepare a go live plan with. So as like, which are the things to do? Whatever we have seen just now in last slide, that all things we need to do, as well as we need to see the SMEs are involved in testing to deliver training along with the SMEs is very important. Support in the updating and existing procedures. If we need anything to be changed in that procedures, so we need to change, because if the go live preparation or go live plan will differ from whatever the expectations from the client, so it is very, very difficult to go after go live, the client can say this is not expected, and whatever you have suggested or whatever you have explained us or committed is not done. So that's the reason if any updation is needed, we can do it at this time as well. Create the user manuals for the RPA process. So this point also I have explained before that the manuals to be created, but the things to do, these 4 points are very important. So whatever we have seen in last slide, and these are like when the customer is in collaboration. So these are the all points we need to see when the customer collaboration is there. So BA needs to see the SME's responses or do the all the procedures checking and the updating of the procedure, then user manuals and the handover, sign off document. So updation of documents, whatever we have seen. So these are related to whatever the customer is getting involved, and the remaining part as sanity test or production environment checkup, IT team will be involved. So this makes the perfect go live preparation. And after everything is ready, we will see the retrospective as well, whatever we have done wrong, and we will form it out so that we will properly go live with the customer and with the RPA process. And after go live, we will not face any challenges in the monitoring and the actual bot running. So this is very important. So next is hypercare. So hypercare, just a second. I'm taking a water, 2 minutes. Yeah. So hypercare is very important. So when we are doing the migration of bots, so go live is done, and now we need to run the bots. So in this first stage of the production of migration of bot, the first few runs we need to do with the customer's SME or the process SMEs. And why it is necessary? Because if process SME or process subject matter expert is the person who knows the process very well, who knows the application very well. Suppose the billing process is there in any application. So that particular billing, every day that person is doing that billing, that operation person. So the process SME is the person who is very important in this role of the hypercare, and BA, business analyst, needs to every time talk to process SME, take the inputs from process SME and implement that. Whatever changes he is suggesting or he is saying, we need to implement that immediately. So as a BA, we need to implement that particular changes. So below are the some points which are listed related to hypercare. So first is like duration of hypercare phase is decided in collaboration with the process SMEs during the process planning phase. At minimum first 5 runs, the bots are run in the hypercare mode. And why it is necessary? Minimum 5. So maximum it can be 10 or 15, because whatever like experiences we are getting, it will be UAT also. You cannot set for 3 to 5 days. It will extend because there will be multiple things coming from the customer while the phase of UAT. Previously, there was not known that exception, but while doing UAT, it is coming. So this is very important. So we need to run the bot again and again in front of that process SME. We need to see that is working fine or not in front of them, and we need to see all the possible scenarios in front of process SME. And this should be the manual run, not a scheduled run, so that the particular bot can be scheduled as per the human intervention, and the process SME will be seeing all the transaction in front of him or her. So that is very, very, very important. Then the explicit review and sign off from the process SME is important, and any changes or fixes that are required during this hypercare period are taken by the development team. So when I will be explaining you the change management in next slide. So this change, whatever I'm talking about, I will go in deep dive of that changes and how the change will be getting impact, and why the impact analysis is very important while doing the change management. So I will deep dive in that point. And the bots are manually executed from the bot production control room, and so that the process SME actively involved during the execution of bot. So for example, just let me give you one example. Suppose we have done one process related to the invoice processing or the bank reconciliation. So any of the process will need some kind of process sets or some kind of exceptions. So there will be maybe one click in the particular application. Then we need to fill the details about the particular banks in bank reconciliation. Then we need to do the reconciliation. So one more click will be required, and then the bank reconciliation figures will be done. So in this case, if I'm saying we are done with the implementation, go live plan and preparation is also ready, and now I am a BA, senior BA, and I am sitting with my process SME for creation of for execution of this particular bot. So while doing this processes, if process SME is very like he or she is having maybe 10 years of experience in that particular process, so he can suggest whatever points where we can save time, or whatever the steps. Suppose we are taking 3 steps, but he can suggest that this step is not needed, but you can take the only 2 steps. So this can be done. And this can be done at the start when we are creating the PDD. But sometimes this process SMEs are busy, or they are not getting the RPA methodology or RPA implementation. So that time they may forget such kind of things. But now, after everything is done, we are running the bot in front of them. They can suggest in this case that whatever the changes needs to be done, and that can be processed and taken place by the development team. Then the testing team, again we have to do the testing, do the UAT kind of thing with the process SME, and then we can implement that. So this is the hypercare, and hypercare is a very important phase related to the BA, business analyst, as a role in RPA, as well as related to the RPA implementation. Next topic is the change request or change management. Now, first we will see in terms of, not in RPA, but in terms of anything, what is the change? So change is something, whatever was not there previously, and we need to include that particular thing in that particular application. So in terms of, suppose in my home, I am taking a new cupboard, so that will be a change for me. So I need to see where do I keep that particular cupboard in my home. Should I keep in bedroom? Should I keep in hall, or where, in drawing room or second bedroom? So where should I keep? So that is the change. That is the change management which is need to be taken. And who is the change owner, or who is taking the decision? So this is my home, so I will be taking decision. If I am saying the same case is happening in Nikhil's home or Amit's home, so they will be taking the decision. So there will be someone to take a decision related to change. The second thing is, whenever I'm telling, okay, the change will be there will be impact of that particular change. And without impact, no change can be done. Because previously it was not there, now it is there. So there will be an impact, some impact inside that particular application or in a particular thing with that particular change. So let's take one example first, and then these points can be taken one by one. So let's take an example. Suppose there is one process in which we are just providing the login credentials and logging into application. Then we are making some payments of the fund transfer, and then after fund transfer, everything is provided to the customer, whatever funds will be there, and after transfer, whatever the amount will be pending in that particular application. So this is the banking application process of the fund transfer. Now, we as a development team, we have created a bot. The BA have done own job, like creation of PDD, PDD, then to be as is to be processed, and everything is provided by the customer, and everything is set. Now go live is there, and while doing UAT, customer said, "Oh, now this credentials we need from a file where we will only provide the email ID, and that email ID will be there, and that will should be mapped with the customer username and password. We don't want that customer's username and passwords to be shared by the to the any other operation person or any other person on email." So previously it was like the everything username passwords are going to the going on email as a communication to the process SMEs or the operations person or the stakeholders. But now that point was not remembered by the process SME. Now they are saying, "Oh, we don't want like this. We need one change, that this login will be not directly coming from the Excel sheet. Previously it was coming from the Excel sheet. It will not come from the Excel sheet. Here the change is, it will be coming like in Excel, there will be an email ID, and that email ID is mapped in your database with the username and password. Your bot needs to take that username and password in encrypted format, put into the application, and then go ahead. Nothing, no change in like full process. Only this is the particular change we need to see or we need to look into. So now we are at UAT phase, and this change is coming. So it is very difficult to say this change is like a minor change. As a implementation owner or implementation partner, as a BA, you need to see the impact analysis of that change. So when you will open the particular as is to be processed, if you are saying like this login credentials were coming previously from the Excel sheet directly to the bot, and bot was taking that particular login credentials, that username and password by the Excel, and putting into the banking application. But now it will come through the email ID, and email ID should be mapped with the database. Previously database was not in the picture. So now the change will be impacting the new database needs to be there in all environment. The database credentials should be there in that database. Suppose you are taking particular version, so that version is paid or unpaid, whatever is there, we need to take licenses, so that needs to be taken. Then in bot, in workflow, UiPath workflow, you need to change or any application workflow, you need to change like the workflow according to the input. So now previously the input was only username and password. Now the input will be email ID. It will go into the database. The bot will go into the database, check that email ID against the username and password, take that username and password, put that inside that particular application and log in. So this, because of this change, it will require more than 40 hours to do the development, the BA work first, then the development and the testing, and then go into live or do the live to the customer. So for business, it is a small change, but for us, it is not a small change. For BAs, for developers, it is not a small change. So that is the change. That is the like impact of the change. And in all project management activities in PMP or Prince2, the change request is handled by the Change Advisory Board, CAB. So CAB is like Change Advisory Board, who will be responsible to handle that particular change. The change manager will be there and the change will be handled. But in RPA case, I don't think so, like that all CAB concept or the Change Advisory Board concept, manager concept, change manager concept will be applied. But yes, definitely the impact will be the same. The impact analysis management will be same. And because of that change, we need to see the risk and mitigations for that particular change. Suppose that change occurs, then in this case, the process traceability metrics, where we are writing down each and every information related to process needs to be changed. Then your to be process will change, your PDD will change, then your SDD will be also having a new version, new change. Because of that, your test scenarios while doing testing, so RPA testers need to change that test scenario. So BA involved in changing all these things, and BA is the person who needs to make sure that in every process or every change management process, each and every stakeholder, whoever is there, maybe developer, maybe tester, is doing as per change impact. So BA is the person who will be taking the head or taking the accountability of this particular change management process. And after everything is done, BA needs to be sure, or BA needs to be like taken all the checklist related to change, make sure that everything is done according to the change impact, and then tell customer, okay, the change is done, and then after change, the process can be go live. In this case, I forgot one point. When the change comes, we need to first estimate the change. If the change is minor, then suppose 8 hours are estimated in total, all transaction, all process. Then if the change is minor, and then middle, and then like high change. So we need to see what kind of change is there. It is impacting which functionalities. It is impacting which exceptions. It is impacting which modules. How much it is impacting on the PDD, SDD. How much it is impacting on what architecture. How much it is impacting on the development, whatever development the developer have done, how much it is impacting on testers, test scenarios and test execution, and end to end we need to see what is the impact of the change. So here are some points which are written. RPA production support teams needs to stay in touch with the process owner and application owner to know ahead on the time when this system change is there. Any upcoming changes to be processed and underlying application interfaces are discussed. It is very important to realize that pods are sensitive to certain changes, and that is normal IT application are considered low impact. As part of communication plan for the RPA program, it is made sure that application owners and process owners are aware of the type of changes that pods are sensitive to. So as I have given the one example, the same login functionality example is written over here. So this is the change request related things, and these are the things which are impacting our changes. Then the production support team works with the IT support. They need to see why each IT support is coming into picture. So now, as I given the example, the database was not in picture. Now I need a SQL database in this case of change, and that's the reason every team member. So as a BA, first, whenever change comes, we need to be sure what are the things we need to do. First, we need to see, okay, what is the change? Where is the impact? So we need to see the impact analysis of that particular change. Then we need to document what that change is like, what kind of change is, and what is the frequency of change. Because of that change, whatever impact is there, so we need to see this change is minor or major, and this needs to be estimated and give the estimates to the client. Next is the after estimation, we need to like as a BA, we need to make sure each and every phase the change is going or floating will be like we are sure that each floating of this particular change in each and every process is happening, and each and every stakeholder means whatever developers are there involved, or process SMEs are involved, or the testing team is involved, are doing that particular change according to the change provided. And again, the last point, and which is the important point, is like wherever the change is there, the costing will be also differ. So in this case, suppose the process we have given the costing for the process X amount, and after the change request will be there. And if it is minor, so many companies are giving it free, but if it is major, then definitely there will be a cost change related to that change request, and that needs to be intimated by the business analyst to the manager or the whoever is handling that implementation partner who is handling that particular process. So that will be the BA's responsibility to identify change, waive that change, what is the weight of the change, and how to implement that change very smartly, and the completion of that change is happening correctly or not. So these all points are related to change bot enhancement or the process SMEs help and change request implementation. So change request and change request implementation has a lot of to say, but now like we are having short of time, I think these are the main points which we have faced till now as a company. I have faced till now as a person because I was a BA in my early future career. So these are the BA related things, or the RPA BA needs to be taken care of. And if you are a normal BA, business analyst, and you wanted to go into RPA or already working in RPA, there is no magic or there is no rocket science related to RPA change request. Yes, but we need to see what perspective, we need to see the implementation time perspective and the complexity perspective. But the implementation or the change request can be handled in the same way, just like before. Only we need to be we need to come out of that human brain, and we need to see, we need to jump into the shoes of the bot, and we need to see how the bot will taken care of this particular change and the process traceability metrics. So that's it from my side. I think we are ready for questions. So if you are having any question, you can go ahead. Nikhil, over to you.
Yes. Yes, thank you so much, Swati, for your wonderful session and extending your time and giving a complete real-time scenarios to our team. So I think you can stop your screen and let's jump into the question immediately. We will see. Okay.
Yeah, already stopped. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. So there is a question. How do you reconcile the difference between UAT environment and the production mission? I think she is having some connection issue. We'll wait. Then, what is the duration of the production readiness for go live? Will the user manual contain any technical details for the bot? Yes, it will have the technical details of the bot as well, because the user manual means complete end-to-end what we have developed and how they're going to run. So it should be there. It's a handbook, complete user handbook we will call it. And 1 second, I will check with her. Might be she is facing some issue. Let me check. Yes, Swati, I think connection issue. Are you there, Swati?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem. No issue.
Connection issue was there.
Yeah, there are a couple of questions like how do you reconcile difference between UAT environment and the production environment?
What was the question? How
do you reconcile the differences between
the UAT?
Yeah. Yes. Sir.
Yeah. So UAT environment is like, for example, the client is having two environments where one application is having two environments related to UAT. UAT means where we can check, we can put any types of scenarios, we can check any types of like data, but in production it is not possible. So taking the example of banking application, so in bank, suppose I will do the fund transfer on the production by the bots. So it is not possible while doing the development, while doing the testing. So that should be differ. And second thing is like, second thing is that you and production links, the application links, the database and the actual environment. So totally it is different in case of where the financial impacts are there. So in some cases like SAP, we have done directly on production. Sometime like client is okay to give the credentials related to production directly for the development. But many cases where the financial impact is there, client is differing this UAT and the production environment. And there is difference like the link, then the database, and every functionality will be same, only the your UI will be also same. So same application, only the UAT and the production will be having different link, different environment and different database.
Yeah, thank you, Swati. And one more question. So what is the duration of the production readiness for go live?
Depending upon the process, if your process is low complexity, then it will be 3 to 4 days. If it is like the medium complexity, then it is 7 to 8 days. And if it is the high complexity, then it will be like 10 plus days. So 10 to 12 days for the production readiness.
Thank you. What are the outputs of impact analysis?
What is the output of impact analysis? In this case, impact analysis, the output will be, as I said, like the traceability metrics, process traceability metrics we are creating. So that we need to change. The output will be the change of PDD version. The previous version of the PDD don't have that particular change. The change of that PDD version, the change of SDD version, the SDT, which because of change we have, we need to update the SDD and PDD. So that versions will be the output of the change. And the impact analysis surveys which are the modules and which are the functionalities, which are the exceptions needs to be changed. So all these change documents will be the impact, impact analysis output, which we are getting because of that particular change.
Yeah, thank you. And what is the last step before go live?
What is the last step before go live? Now the go live planning is done. Everything which we have seen in go live from the developer side, if the change is there, then from the BA sides, and everything is done. Every sign off of the go live is done from the customer process SME, and that sign off is the last thing where we can say everything is done, and sanity testing, then process particular environment readiness and the production environment readiness, database readiness, then health checkup of the system, everything is done. So all these checklists which we have seen, if everything is done and wherever we require sign off from the customer, it is also done, then we can say it is the readiness of the go live and we can go live with that.
Yeah, thank you. And how agile works? So I think
how agile works in RPA is the same thing. Is the same thing when I can say in agile there are sprints or the small time box iterations are there. So in case of Scrum, we are calling it this as a sprint, and in case of like Kanban or the Scrum Ban, it is also sprint. So in that particular sprint, if I'm taking the example of sprint as a 1 week, in that 1 week, how many like process related things we can do. So that is the thing we need to take care. We need to define the sprint. In case of agile, we need to see what are the user stories. User stories means we need to bifurcate or WBS, work breakdown structure. We need to bifurcate our particular process work in task breakdown, whatever BA will do, whatever developer will do in that particular 1 week or 2 weeks. And then we need to define that particular sprint, and then we are working in RPA. So currently we are working in sprints only, and we are working RPA plus Agile. So if someone needs any information, they can connect with me. I can definitely help them out in actual implementation if they need.
Yeah, thank you so much, Swati. So what are the main factors to be taken care in impact analysis? I think she already covered that. Okay, next question. If some information missed to ask SME earlier by the business analyst, because of that, change request arises. Meanwhile, so whether this extra cost will be put into the client, or how we can go ahead.
So if it is the business analyst issue, or business analyst forgot to ask the question, definitely we are not going to charge that to the client. But we cannot also raise the estimates against that, and we cannot. We need to see how we can cover that particular change request as early as possible inside that the timeline and the estimates. And we need to give the assurity to client, because that is from our side or the BA side, the mistake was there, or the particular BA forgot to ask that question. So we need to make sure that that change request needs to be incorporated, and then it fix it as quickly as possible by the implementation team.
Thank you. So will the user manual which we are providing after the handover, it will contain technical details of the bot?
It will contain the bot related like data. Technical details will be there in SDD. So we are not again giving that technical details here, but whatever details related to users and all the stakeholders, business stakeholders, the process SME, that all we have to incorporate and that include in that particular document. So the technical details of the bot or the architecture of bot, that will be in SDD. So that is not needed by the these people, like business people. So they are not interested, right?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Swati. I think we're done with the questions. Thank you so much for your answers.
Just one more question, Nikhilesh.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Swati, like you said, the BA has to calculate the number of bots. So how is that done? How do you calculate the number of bots?
So BA needs to give the calculation to the customer and give it to the give for the like how many bots will be required, and the confirmation needs to be done by the client. So how to calculate a bot? So there is a bot calculator. For example, as I said, suppose the one particular process requires 2 minutes for one transaction. Okay, that means in 60 minutes, like there will be 30 transactions taken place, and if there are suppose 3,000 transactions in that particular month or particular day that particular customers needs to do. So we need to see in 24 hours how many transactions can be done. So in that particular case, suppose I'm taking like 30 in 1 hour. So in 24 hours, we will be taking 720 transactions. So in 24 hours, by one bot, 740 transactions can be done, but there are 3,000 transactions. So 720 into like how many bots you will be required. You need to see that. So you will be required around 5 bots for this in this condition. So you need to suggest client if you will go with 720 as a transaction, or you can say like sometimes system is down and sometimes like we cannot calculate like 720 exact number. So we will go with maybe 700, and in that 700 like by the one bot. And if you are having 3,000 transactions, so you need to see like you have to you have to get the 5 bots related to that.
Thank you.
Okay, and wait, and how do you calculate the average handling time of the bot compared to that of a human being?
Yeah, so average time will be, for example, the process is taken care by the human in 15 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes के अंदर if it is taking the time by the person, and when I am doing that particular transaction by the bot, it is taking 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So we will see on we will do that particular transaction all on 30 or 40 particular transaction. We will see the average time, and according to that we will tell to the client, okay, the average time will be 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes. Sometimes the application is not proper or not lagging behind, so it may take 4 minutes, but the average time can be 3 or 3.5. So according to that concept, like we need to have that particular action or the bot execution done on 30 or 40 transaction while doing the testing or while doing the implementation unit testing. And we need to tell when we are going live, we need to tell to the customer, okay, this is the time taken for this 30-40 transactions. So we can assume that bot will take one, according to that, one transaction will be taken like 3 or 3.5 minutes. And according to that, we need to calculate the time.
Okay, so you calculate only after the testing phase.
Obviously, yeah, because before I don't know. It's so like, for example, now I am having experience. I can see the screens and I can see the application and exceptions and everything, and I can calculate by myself because of experience. But in starting, when like we have started with the RP implementation, it was not there. So after normal BA can do one thing, BA can take this inputs from the developer when developer is to a completion phase and doing the unit testing and the testers. So that in that phase, BA can calculate this timings. But definitely this timing can be taken as an approximate time again, because as I said, like we need to do many transactions. We need to do 30-40 transactions, and then in all circumstances, and then we can come up with that particular number, whatever time is taken.
So we can't like there is no particular formula like it'll be 2/3 of a human transaction time.
We have a calculator. We have created our own calculator. So where I can just put how much time approximately bot is taking. So I'm getting the calculation directly. So you can prepare your own calculator as a BA, and if you want more information on that, you can connect with me. I will definitely help you out, because we are having our own calculator created.
Okay.
For the BA, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That is a good question. You can create your own calculator, and it is very simple to create the calculator on this Excel, normal Excel. So you can create your own calculator and use that. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, Swati and Zareen. That's what about the questions. So we don't immediately. I will jump into the quiz session, so which will be interesting. So I think you guys enjoyed this session, which was very extendable and very insightful. So she gave all the real-time examples. So please be ready with your chart. I'm pasting my question. So the question is, and yes, I have entered the question. You can post your answers now. Please check the chat window. Question is there. I got one answer. Okay. My judge given one answer, so I need to stick with my judge. So the answer is, most of the people was correct. So the answer is process SME. So I think Swati that you can correct me if I'm wrong. So Alekya Kameshwari given the perfect answer, and most of the people given proper only.
Yeah, SME is fine, but in this case, why process SME? Because it is the RPA. It's a robotic process automation. We are in that era or a journey. So process SME is the answer where the SME. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Alekya Kameshwari. This is the second time you are winning. And guys, ready for this? Are you ready for the second question? I have one more question with you. So I'm pasting my question. Be ready again. Yeah, that is the question, guys. So my question is, which analysis is important in the case of any change request comes up from the business? So I'm seeing some correct answers. So the correct answer is impact analysis. I think Satish Kumar was correct answer. Swati, is it right? Right? Impact analysis is the right.
Yes, impact analysis.
Okay, so Satish Kumar was given the answer. So good. So I have Lekhi and Satish details. So you will get the gift and the certification. So thank you so much, guys. I both of the people details I have. So I will connect with them. So this was the session, guys. I think it was so wonderful and insightful. I would like to thank Swati for her time and extending her time. It was very insightful, and this was the session which we extended for almost, I think, 1.5 hour, 2 hours, I guess. So thank you so much, Swati. Thanks for your time, and we will make this happen soon.
Yeah, thank you, Nikhilesh. Thanks all participants. And if you have any query, if you wanted to know anything, anyone can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and maybe Nikhilesh have my number. You can reach out to me on a call. If I'm busy, I will call you back definitely. Stay in touch.
Yeah.
All the best for your future.
Yeah. Thank you, Swati. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. We'll meet you in the next session, and the things, recordings, and all I will share. And congratulations to the today winners. So thank you, guys. Cheers. All the very best. Thank you, Swati. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.